All right. So we're going to try to test out the motivational interviewing coach student checkup version, which should, in theory, allow us to practice using the student checkup. And as you see, I've kind of got uh, the self-assessment or the questions for the student checkup here off to the left, the manual. It's already got some stuff entered in it, but I think the student checkup will actually give us, or the motivational interviewing coach here, the AI, should give us some data that we might be able to put in here as well, as if they had taken the pre-treatment survey, which kind of looks like this and that. But we're going to start from the top. But first thing we do to kind of initiate this is once we click on the link, we say, I want to practice the student checkup. And then we send it. And it says, all right, here's a mock student profile you can use. So it looks like we got, and so if I had some of this data beforehand, because I gave the pre-treatment survey before I would even start the interview with the kid, I would, come here and say it looks like current grades are mostly C's and D's. They rated a 9 out of 10. Oh, good. That's consistent with this. Satisfaction was a 4 out of 10. So we see that. Homework completion was 50%, which that's actually what we have here in our actual chart, which we would enter this data. I already have some data in here, but it looks like we got 50%. Participation was 40%. So I'm going to change that here. And looks like they think they should participate 90%. So I'll change that here as well for this practice. And they think they should turn in their homework 100% of the time. And I'm gonna say number 2, friendly but a little resistant to change. So we'll see how that goes. Personality number 2, friendly but a little resistant to change. All right, so now it is ready for me to begin. And I'm gonna try, I haven't tried this, but I'm gonna try to do this on voice mode and see how it works. So um we're give it a shot. All right. Actually, it looks like voice mode might maybe it will. Let's see if we can get it to work. Hi, my name is Gil. I'm gonna be your counselor today. And during this meeting, we will talk a little bit about how you're doing in school. And I want to note, really importantly, you're not in trouble, and that I'll try to keep our conversation private, just between you and me. And the purpose of this meeting is to discuss your views of how things are going and have been going this semester and how you would like things to go in the future. After talking about your views, I'm going to give you some summaries of data we've collected earlier, and we'll discuss what you think this all means. And when appropriate, we might list some goals and methods of change. This discussion to take about 40 minutes. Do you have any questions before we begin, and are you willing to participate?
Yeah, sure, Mr. Gill. I mean that all sounds fine to me. I don't really have any big questions right now. I get this is just to talk about how I'm doing. So, yeah, I'm cool with that. Let's do it.
All right. Well, thank you. So earlier, when you completed our survey, you rated the importance of making good grades as a 9 out of 10. Can you tell me why you chose a 9 out of 10?
Yeah, I guess I put a 9 because I mean, good grades do matter. Like my parents are always telling me that it's important for the future and stuff. But I didn't put a full 10 because, it's not the only thing in life. But yeah, I do think it's pretty important. So that's why I picked 9.
Right? So, I mean, there are other things that are important to you, and you believe your parents when they say that you want to make good grades for your future.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I get that there's other stuff going on, but I do believe them when they say it's going to help me down the road. So yeah, I guess I do kind of think it's important, even if I'm not always like super excited about it.
So, I mean, if you put in the time now, down the road in the future, things might be better.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what I think. Like, I know in the future it's supposed to pay off, and I do want that. It's just sometimes it's kind of hard to get myself to care that much in the moment. But yeah, I do see what you're saying.
Hey, well, tell me, I mean, why would it help you in the future? And why do your parents think that?
Well, I mean, I guess my parents always say that if I get good grades now, it means I can get into a good high school program and then maybe college and then have more choices. So I guess that's what they think. And I sort of get that it could help me have more options when I'm older. It's just like right now that feels really far away, but yeah, that's kind of what they tell me.
All right. So, I mean, your parents really want you to go to college, and you care what they think.
Yeah, I do care what they think. I mean, even if I don't always show it, I know they want me to do well and go to college and have a bunch of opportunities. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of where I'm at. It's important to me because it's important to them. Even if I'm not always super pumped about it, I do get that they want the best for me.
Yeah, and you want to make them proud.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I do. Like, I want them to feel good about how I'm doing and not be worried about me. So, yeah, I'd like to make them proud. It's just sometimes it's a little tough to get motivated, you know?
Yes, sometimes it is hard to get started. And you mentioned that you would like to make A's. And I wonder, could you tell me more about that? And maybe like why you personally want to make A's, not just to make your parents proud.
Well, I guess for me, like making A's would just feel like I actually achieved something. Like I actually did my best and I could say, hey, I really did that. And I guess it would just make me feel more confident about what I can do. So yeah, it's not just about them. It would be kind of nice for me too.
Yeah, I mean, you would feel really good about yourself if you got good grades and made A's this semester.
Yeah, I think I would. I mean, it would definitely be a confidence boost. And it would just kind of show me that I can actually do it if I put my mind to it. So yeah, it would feel pretty good to see those A's.
It would prove to you that like you can do the hard stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's kind of like if I can do that, then I know I can handle the harder stuff that goes later. So, yeah, I think that would be pretty cool to show myself that I can do it.
All right. Well, and you noted that like last semester or currently that you're making C's and D's, and you rated your satisfaction as a 4 out of 10. Can you tell me why you chose a 4 as opposed to like a 10?
Yeah, so I guess I picked a 4 because, I'm not totally unhappy with everything, but I'm definitely not super satisfied either. It's like I'm kind of in the middle, but leaning more towards not being that happy with it. So I guess I feel like I could do better, and that's why I didn't rate it anywhere near a 10.
Yeah. So I mean, C's aren't that bad, but there's still a little piece of you that knows that you could earn a higher grades.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I know C's are not terrible, but
Yeah. So C's are not terrible, but but you could do better.
yeah, exactly. Like I know I have it in me to do better than just C's if I put in the effort. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. It's like I know I could probably bump those grades up if I really tried.
Yeah, I mean, when you put your mind to something and you put in the time, good things happen.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, when I actually focus and put in the work, I can see some good results. So yeah, I guess that makes sense. It's just about kind of getting myself to do that.
Right, well, tell me, like, I mean, what are you already doing well that's helping you even make C's?
Well, I guess one thing I'm doing okay is I do show up to class pretty regularly. I don't skip or anything. And I do at least turn in some of my homework, even if it's not all of it. So I think those things are kind of keeping me at least at the C range.
Yeah, I mean, you show up, which is half the battle.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figure. Like just being there is at least one step in the right direction. So I guess I have that going for me. It's just about maybe taking a few more steps from there.
All right. Yeah, so I mean, you show up and you do some of your homework, and you mentioned that you don't do it all.
Yeah, exactly. Like I do some of it, and that's probably what's keeping me at least in the C range. But I know if I actually did all my homework and put in a little more effort, I'd probably see those grades go up. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
All right. Yeah. So if I mean, you feel if you put in a little more effort, did a little more homework, you probably would get your grades up. I mean, can you tell me more about like what might be preventing you from attaining higher grades?
Yeah, I guess one thing is sometimes I just get a bit distracted. Like I'd rather play video games and hang out with friends instead of doing homework. And I guess sometimes I just feel a little bit lazy or like it's hard to get started. So yeah, I think that's kind of what gets in my way sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you want to take a break and get a breather, and you're kind of worried that maybe during those times you neglect or don't do the homework and studying that you need to get done.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I do want to have my breaks and have some fun, but sometimes that means I just put off the homework too long and then, I end up not doing it. So yeah, it's kind of that balance of wanting a break, but also knowing I need to do the work.
Yeah, so yeah, you want to break and you want to do the work, and finding that right balance is kind of something that you're thinking about.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I'm trying to figure out how to have both, still have some fun, but also get my work done so I can feel good about my grades.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, what concerns you about your current grades? Like,
I guess one of my concerns is just, I don't want my parents to be disappointed or worried about me. And I guess I'm also a little concerned that if I keep getting these grades, it might be harder to catch up later on. So, yeah, those are the kind of things that worry me
yeah, I mean, so
a bit.
you feel like you're kind of letting your
Well,
parents down.
yeah, a little bit. I mean, I do feel like sometimes I'm letting them down if I don't find that balance. And I guess that's part of why I want to figure it out. So, yeah, it's something I'm working on.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you're working on it. You don't want to let your parents down, and you feel like you're letting yourself down a little bit too, because you know when you put in the effort, you can pretty much do anything, especially schoolwork.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Like, I know if I really try, I can do it, and I don't want to let myself down either. So, yeah, I think that's definitely something I want to work on and figure out.
Well, I'm gonna kind of move us, and I want to show you this chart that we have where you reported like your actual time spent doing different things, such as doing homework, participating in class, even like playing video games and those kind of things. And you also reported on our survey like what you think you should be doing. And interestingly, almost more than a decade ago, we looked at what like A students report that they do and what B students report they do at a middle school in the Southeast. And so I wanted to ask you some questions. And normally, sometimes we kind of draw this out on this chart, but for us, we don't have to draw today. I'll just ask you the questions. And specifically, you reported that you spend about 40% of the time participating in class, but you think you should spend 90% of your time participating in class. Why do you think that?
Well, I guess I feel like if I participated more, I'd probably understand the stuff better. And I kind of know that in the back of my head. Like if I really was paying attention and answering questions or asking questions, I'd probably just do better overall. So I think that's why I put that. I kind of know it's the right thing to do, even if I'm not doing it yet.
So, I mean, you feel like you would retain more information because you would hear it, and then you would also ask more questions, and also participate more, like actually answer questions as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think if I was actually more involved, I just remember things better and feel more confident. So yeah, I think that's kind of why I feel like I should be participating more.
And so it would make you feel more confident if you were participating more.
Yeah, definitely. I think I just feel more sure of myself if I was actually participating and, kind of knowing.
So it would make you feel more sure of yourself. And interestingly, so we found that students who make A's um, report participating about 91% of the time. Why do you think that helps them make A's?
Well, I guess it kind of makes sense, right? Like if they're participating that much, they're probably really engaged in just understanding the material better. And I guess it helps them just stay on top of things. So yeah, I can see why that would lead to them making A's.
I mean, it keeps them engaged. That means they're staying on top of things, and that probably leads to them making A's.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it kind of all adds up. If you're engaged and you're staying on top of things, then it makes sense that you'd end up with better grades. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, so, you also reported that you spend that or that you complete about 50% of your homework, and you think you should uh, complete about 100% of your homework. Can you tell me more about that? And I know we kind of talked about this a little bit already, but yeah, can you tell me why you think you should turn in 100% of your homework?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess I think I should do all my homework because, it's probably going to help me understand the material better and keep up with the class. And I know that if I actually did all of it, I'd probably just feel more prepared and do better on tests and everything. So, yeah, I guess I kind of know that doing all my homework would just help me overall.
So, I mean, if you did your homework, you would feel more prepared and understand the material better.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'd just walk into class feeling a lot more ready and not so worried about, what I might not know. So, yeah, I think that would definitely help me out.
And so you would also feel more confident when you get to class because you would be like, I looked at this last night. I know how to do it.
Yeah, totally. I think if I knew I'd already looked at it, I'd just feel a lot more confident going in and it would just kind of make everything a little easier. So, yeah, I think that would definitely help.
Well, we found that students who make A's report that they do about 95% of their homework. Why do you think that helps them make A's?
Well, I mean, it makes sense, right? If they're doing almost all of their homework, they're basically practicing all the time and staying on top of the material. And I guess that just helps them really understand it deeply and be ready for tests and everything. So I think that's probably why it helps them get those A's.
Yeah, so I mean, homework makes you practice the material, and when you practice, you do better.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, practice really does make a difference. So if you're doing the homework, you're kind of just making sure you really get it. And then it's a lot easier to do well. So yeah, I can see how that would help.
Are there any other reasons doing homework might help people make A's?
Yeah, I think besides just understanding the material, it probably helps you build good habits too. Like you get used to managing your time and staying organized. And I think all that stuff kind of adds up to doing better in school. So yeah, I think there's a few reasons it helps.
So, I mean, so by doing homework, you might actually learn some strategies as well of just how to persevere and stay organized to get things done.
Yeah, definitely. I think it kind of teaches you how to keep going and stay on track. And those are skills that probably help in a lot of different ways. So yeah, I think doing the homework kind of helps you build that up too.
Well, thank you for sharing all this. I'm going to take a moment to summarize kind of what we've talked about so far, and you let me know if I missed anything or if you want to add anything. But ultimately, I mean, you find it very important to make good grades, and part of the reason you find it important is because your parents want you to make good grades because they want you to have a bright future, specifically go to college. And then you mentioned that even personally, like it would feel good for you if you made good grades because you would look back at the end of the semester and say, man, I've really put in that effort and it paid off. And it would make you feel good and more confident. And you mentioned that, you're already doing a nice job of showing up to class and that you show up, you attend regularly. And really what you feel might be kind of getting in the way is that, though you do a lot of your homework, you think you could do a little more, and that if you did more, you would understand the material better and you would feel more confident in class. And similarly, if you feel that you could participate a little more in class, and that would help you, one, like ask like clarifying questions to make sure you really understand the content, and you would ensure you don't miss any content. Um, and also, I guess similarly, you also mentioned that homework helps you practice skills, which really helps you do well and learn material better. Is there anything else that I missed or that you would want to add?
No, I think you summed it up really well. That sounds pretty much like everything we talked about. And yeah, I feel like that covers it. So thanks for the summary.
Well, so let me ask you, if you started getting your homework completed, let's say 90% of your homework done, and you started participating more in class, how would things be better?
Well, I think I'd probably just feel a lot more confident and like I really know what I'm doing. And I bet my grades would go up too, which would feel pretty good. And I think my parents would be really proud. So yeah, I think overall it would just kind of make everything feel a little bit better and I'd feel more on top of things.
So it would make you feel more confident. You would think your grades would go up, and your parents would be proud of you.
Yeah, exactly. I think all of those things would kind of come together and it would just feel like a win all around. So yeah, I think that would be a really nice outcome.
Well, tell me some strengths that are in strengths and maybe resources you might have that could help you make this type of change.
Well, I guess one strength is that I do care about doing well, and I know that about myself. And I guess another resource is that I have my teachers and my parents who want to help me. So I think I've got some support around me and I've got the motivation deep down. So I think those things could help.
Yeah, so I mean, you already have what it takes, um, to that well, really, that if you put your mind to something that you can do well, and you have your parents there to also support you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think knowing that I've got that support and that I can do it if I put my mind to it is really helpful. So yeah, I think that definitely gives me a good starting point.
What else?
All right. So it sounds like we've really covered a lot of ground and you've got some good ideas about what could help you. And Wed, we could talk through all this.
Well, no, no,
If
no,
there's
no,
anything
no.
else you want to add, let
No, I was saying, tell me more about why you think uh, you can actually start studying or completing more of your homework and participating more.
Oh, sure. Well, I think I can do it because I know I've done it in the past when I really tried. And I guess I just feel like if I have a plan and I know why I'm doing it, it makes it a little easier to get started. So yeah, I think just having that confidence from knowing I've done it before really helps.
All right, yeah. So I mean, you've made good grades before, and so you know that maybe if you put a plan in place, you could get it done. So let me actually ask you this. What do you think you're going to do?
Yeah, I think having a plan definitely helps. And I guess what I'm going to do is maybe set some small goals for myself, like doing a little more homework each week and trying to speak up a bit more in class. And I think if I just start with those small steps, I can build from there. So that's kind of my plan.
All right. Yeah. So you want to make a plan. You think that if you speak up a little more in class, that'll help you participate a little more, and you want to try to get your homework um, done. Um, we actually have a goal worksheet that we like to complete with students, that helps them kind of clarify a goal and just actually write out their plan because sometimes it helps to see it. And you don't have to write, you can just tell me what to put in it. Would you like to fill this out? And importantly, I want you to know that this is completely optional, and it's up to you if you want to fill out this plan.
Yeah, sure. I'd be up for that. I mean, I think it would be helpful to kind of talk it out and have a plan in place. So, yeah, let's do it. I can tell you what to put down.
All right, great. Well, here's our goal. I have our goal sheet pulled up. Um, and the very first thing I want to ask you is just what goal do you want to set? What is your goal for this semester?
All right. I think my goal would be to complete at least 90% of my homework each week and try to participate in class at least once a day. I think that's a good place to start.
Okay, so complete 90% of homework and participate in class once a day. And when you say participate in class once a day, what do you mean? What does that look like?
Yeah, I guess by that I mean like answering one question the teacher asks or asking one question if I'm confused. Just kind of making sure I speak up at least one time each class day.
Okay, yeah. So actually answering one question or asking a question once a day so that your voice is being heard in class. Um, all right. Well, tell me about the things you're already doing that will help you reach this goal.
Well, I'm already making sure I show up to class every day, which I think is a good start. And I do some of my homework now, so I'm already in the habit of doing a little bit. And I guess I'm also just paying attention enough that I kind of know what's going on. So those are some things that are already helping.
Okay. And yeah, so you already show up to class every day, you do some of your homework, and you pay attention enough to know what's going on in general in the class.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, what do you think you will need to either like change to help you reach your goal? Either start or stop doing.
Well, I think one thing I'll need to change is just maybe cutting down a little bit on my video game time so I have a bit more time to do homework. And I guess I'll also need to kind of push myself to speak up, even if it feels a little uncomfortable at first. But yeah, I think those are the 9 things I'll have to change.
Okay, so you feel like you need to cut down on video games to make a little more time for your homework. Can you tell me a little more about what that would look like?
Yeah, I guess it would just mean maybe setting a certain amount of time for video games and then stopping so that I had a bit of time to do my homework before I get too tired. So yeah, I think just setting a little limit would probably help me.
What type of time limit are you thinking?
I think maybe setting like a 1 hour limit on video games on school nights might be a good place to start. That way I have enough time to get my homework done and still have a little fun.
And you're thinking you would do homework after you play or before?
I think maybe I do the homework first before I play, so that way I know it's done and I can kind of relax and enjoy the games afterward. I think that would probably help me stay on track.
All right. So do homework first and then play video games is almost like a reward.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like a little reward after I finish my homework. I think that would make it easier to get it done, and then I can relax and have fun afterwards.
Okay. So that would let you you'd get it done, you'd feel good about it, and that way it would make video games even more enjoyable.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'd enjoy the games more knowing that I already got my homework out of the way, and it would just feel like a nice little break after getting things done. So, yeah, I think that would definitely help.
All right. Well, tell me, and I think you might have mentioned this, but I don't think I got it written down. What might you do to help you participate a little more in class?
Yeah, so I think what I do is just set a little reminder for myself to try to speak up to at least once each class. So maybe I just tell myself, hey, ask one question or answer one question each day, and just kind of have that in mind so I remember to do it.
Okay. Yeah, so you might set a reminder so that so that you're reminded daily, hey, I need to ask a question or answer a question in class to stay engaged. What would that reminder look like? Like where would you set it?
Yeah, I think I'd probably just write a little note in my notebook or maybe put a small sticky note on the inside cover that just says, ask one question today or answer one question today. And that way, when I open my notebook, I see it and I remember.
All right. Yeah. So you're going to put it, either put a sticky note or just write it in your notebook, this reminder to speak up in class, to ask questions and to ask questions, answer questions and ask questions. Um,
Yeah, exactly. Just a little reminder in my notebook so I see it and it kind of nudges me to speak up. I think that would help me stay on track.
all right. Well, tell me, like, what obstacles might you face with this plan, and how would you overcome the obstacle?
Yeah, I think one obstacle might just be feeling a little nervous about speaking up if I'm not used to it. And I guess to overcome that, I just remind myself that it's okay to start small and that it's just one question a day. And I think another obstacle might be just sticking to the homework routine. And for that, I think just keeping that reward in mind of playing video games after will help me stick with it.
Okay. Yeah. So feeling nervous to speak up, but then you can remind yourself that that it's okay. Well, actually, tell me again what you said you would remind yourself.
Yeah, I'd remind myself that it's okay to just start with one small step and that it's just one question a day. Just keep it simple and not put too much pressure on myself.
Yeah. So just remind yourself it's just about taking one small step. Um, and that would help you not like put so much pressure on yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Or just taking it one step at a time and not making it a huge deal. And I think that way it'll feel a lot easier to do.
And for homework, you mentioned that um, you just um, might not feel like doing the homework, but using the video game as a reward would help you overcome that.
Yeah, that's right. I think if I just keep in mind that I've got that little reward waiting for me, it'll help me push through and get the homework done even when I don't feel like it.
Great. Yeah. So, the you have a plan of how to overcome these obstacles, and part of it is just reminding yourself that, baby steps are all you need to take, and that, video games are going to be more fun and more rewarding when you take care of the work that you need to do.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just about those small steps and knowing that I've got a nice little reward at the end. And I think that makes it feel a lot more doable.
All right. Well, how are you going to know if this plan's working?
Well, I think I'll know it's working if I start noticing that I'm actually getting my homework done more often and if I'm speaking up in class more regularly. And I guess I'll also just kind of see if I feel more confident and if my grades are going up a bit, then I'll know it's working.
Yeah. So one, you will actually be able to see that you're getting more of your homework done. Um, you'll be able to notice if you're asking questions, and you hopefully will feel more confident, and your grades will go up if you're doing all these things.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I think all those signs will let me know if I'm on the right track. And if I see those changes, I'll know my plan's working.
And you already mentioned that you would use video games as a reward for getting your homework done. Um, any other maybe type of reward you could give yourself for, sticking to your plan to ask questions and to answer questions?
Yeah, I think another little reward could be maybe giving my health a little extra free time on the weekends if I've been consistent during the week. Just something small, but something that feels like a nice little treat.
Okay, yeah. So video games and giving yourself a little more free time on the weekends if you're sticking to your plan.
Yeah, exactly. Just a couple little things to keep me motivated and make it feel rewarding. I think that would definitely help me stick with it.
Right. And when are you going to start this plan?
I think I'll start right away. There's no time like the present, so I can start putting these steps into action this week and see how it goes.
All right. So, I mean, it's August 26th. So you're going to start today, tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I'll just go ahead and start tomorrow. It's a fresh day and I can just jump right in and see how it goes.
All right. So I put this down on our goal sheet, and there's a place for you to sign if you agree to your plan. And importantly, this your signature is really a contract with yourself of you saying, I'm gonna really stick to my plan. Are are, are you willing to sign it?
Yeah, I'm willing to sign it. I mean, it sounds like a good plan and I'm ready to give it a shot. So let's do it. I'll sign on.
All right, here you go. And so on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being extremely committed, 1 being not committed at all, how committed are you to following this plan?
I'd say I'm probably around an 8. I feel pretty committed and ready to go for it. There's always a little bit of nervousness, but yeah, I think an 8 is a good place to start.
So you're feeling a little nervous, but you are at an 8 overall. So tell me more, why an 8?
Yeah, I think it's an 8 because I'm definitely motivated and I really want to do it. And I guess the little bit of nervousness is just because it's something new. But overall, I feel pretty ready to go.
All right, yeah. So I mean, you're ready to do it. You're ready to change your homework and participation kind of routine, and you're a little nervous about it, but you're overall you're ready to go.
Yeah, that sums it up. I'm a little nervous, but I'm definitely ready to give it a try and see how it goes. So I'm feeling good about it.
All right, and I have one more kind of question for you, or kind of activity. Is that we have this poster out in the hallway that says, "If I can be academically responsible, then so can you. I'm committed to my academic plan and career." We're giving kids an opportunity to sign this if they want to make a public commitment, so to let other people know that, hey, I'm committed to doing well in school, and to my plan is would you be willing to sign this? It will be up in the library, so if you don't want to publicly commit, again, this is completely up to you and completely optional.
Yeah, I think I'd be willing to sign it. I mean, it sounds kind of nice to make that commitment and let other people know that I'm working on it. So, yeah, I think I'd go ahead and sign.
All right, well, here's the Sharpie, and you can sign it on your way out. And I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me today, and to let me know about how you're feeling about school. And again, I mean, it sounds like you really care about your parents and you want to make them proud, and you care about your future, and you know that you have what it takes to do well when you put in the effort. And for you, you feel like if you just tweaked your homework and participation routine, you would be successful and your grades would go up, you would feel better, and your parents would be proud. And you've created a really clear plan about how you're going to do that, including setting reminders, and limiting how much video games you play, and then using video games and things that you like as a reward. So again, just thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I think this was super helpful. I'm glad we could come up with a plan, and I'll definitely give it a shot. So, thanks again.
Thanks. All right, now can you let me know how I did as a motivational interviewer?
Absolutely. So, let me just switch out of my student role and step into that evaluator mode. Overall, you did a great job guiding the conversation. You used a lot of core motivational interviewing techniques like asking open-ended questions and using reflective listening. You really let the student talk through their own motivations and ambivalence, which is a big part of MI. You also did a nice job helping the student come up with a concrete plan and identify their own strengths and resources. And when we got to the change plan, you really helped structure it in a way that was easy to follow. If I were to give a bit of feedback, I'd say you did a really nice job maintaining that non-judgmental tone and letting the student feel in control of their own goals, which is exactly what you want in MI. Overall, I'd say you did great and you really kept that MI spirit going throughout.
Awesome. And how is my fidelity with the actual student checkup protocol?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me give you a bit of feedback on that. So, in terms of fidelity to the student checkup protocol, I think you did really well. You followed the structure pretty nicely, especially by starting with getting the student's own motivations out there and then moving into goal setting. You use the importance and confidence scaling in a natural way, and you definitely help the student generate their own change plan, which is a big part of the checkup. If I were to look at the fidelity checklist, I'd say you hit the main components. You established a reason for change, you explored the student's own perspective, and you co-created a plan. So I'd say you stayed pretty true to the protocol. Nice work.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I'm glad I could help, and you did a really great job working through the process. If you ever want to practice again or have any other questions, just let me know.
Will do.
Sounds good. Feel free to reach out anytime. Take care and good luck with your next session.
All right, and now like when I X out of there, out of the speaker, I can actually see the entire. Yeah, I can see the whole transcript of our conversation that we had. Um, it seemed to work really well. There's one part I think you might have noticed at the very end, or towards right before the change plan, where it thought we were done and it was about to give me feedback. But then I kind of caught it and got it back on track. But other than that, it actually went smoothly. That was actually the first time I've ever used it in voice mode. So you can actually just practice by typing back and forth. But I think if you do voice mode, it feels a little more legit. So that's a pretty good model, I think, of the student checkup. I mean, the only thing we really didn't do was doing the little bar graphs here when we were talking about how often they actually participate and how often they think they should and what A students do. We have this little chart where you can have the kid, or you can first draw like what they actually reported as a bar graph, and then you can have them draw what they think they should do and what A students do. And that can sometimes give the kids, something to kind of look at, so all the pressure is not on them. But overall, all the questions were asked. And yeah, so this was a demo of the MI Coach, the student checkup version. And we actually have a version that is just using MI flexibly, and you can choose different age clients and different problems that aren't just school related as well. Hope you enjoyed. Hope this was helpful, and talk to you soon.